for troublemakers in Nigeria in the 70s and the 80s. You know, the people that really shaped this country. When it comes to student union, put your hands together. The registrar of our great institution, Mrs. Patricia Kalesonwo. Citation, Dr. Dele Omojuigbe. Thank you, Mrs. Kalesonwo.
Our special lecturer, special former deputy provost, our former, well, he's still our friend, our father. Please, what's the name of the animal, the king of the jungle? What's the name of the king of the jungle in this field? No, the provost himself is a lion. And I am a lioness from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, the first indigenous university in Nigeria. Now back to Dr. Dele Omojuigbe is in English from the University of Ibadan with specialization in his first and master's degrees were equally in English from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. And the university holds a postgraduate diploma in journalism from Independent Journalism Center, College of Journalism, Lagos. Omojuigbe worked in the Daily Times PLC as a feature writer and as acting editor, Headlines, a sister publication, associate editor in 1998, and later he was publisher, editor, College Reports Journal. Omojuigbe joined the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, NIJ Ogba, Lagos, in 2004, where he was the head of Department General Studies for over a decade, and later deputy provost for 4 years. While on sabbatical from NIJ in 2015, he served on the editorial board, has written many academic journal articles and published books. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating a great scholar, a publisher, a teacher, Dr. Dele Omojuigbe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is not everybody that starts well, that ends well. I pray and I look forward to such a day like this too. If you desire that, you say amen. Okay, so much our time. Please put your hands to governing council and the provost of Nigerians of Apo Thomas for our congregational lecture.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or is it afternoon? Good afternoon. First time I was to do analysis for channels, I think year 2000. I was yet to have my PhD. So when I got there, I told them, Mr. Dapo Thomas. I just told them Dapo Thomas. I just like mentioning Dapo Thomas. I don't really bother about titles. So I told them Dapo Thomas. So in their own wisdom, that particular day, they gave me PhD by introducing. I objected when I finished. I told them I'm not yet a doctor. And for a very long time, I kept on correcting them. So at a stage, I told my friend, Tayo Adeshino, Femi Adeshino's brother, who was my classmate. So I told him, I said, can you see this trouble that I'm facing? Because at that time, I was doing my PhD in UI. So, and they have not conferred the PhD on me. So he gave me a Yoruba saying. He said, just leave them and let them keep calling you doctor. So I left them. I didn't object. Eventually, I got the PhD. But I didn't run into trouble with the school authorities for calling myself a doctor when I was yet a minister. Now this time around, by the special grace of God, I have been promoted a professor. That are here, please, I plead. We have to follow protocol. In the university system, until the promotion has been ratified by the university council, it is not wise for you to use the title. I only told my friends, because you will know. Once you finish the interview, members of the panel, one way or the other, will get to you to tell you congratulations. So that was what happened February 5. So very soon, this month I believe, the council will ratify. So for the reporters here, please just stick to the doctor. I don't want to run foul of the system. Please stick to the doctor. I have carried the doctor title for long. So maybe waiting for 1 or 2 months should not be a problem. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and I stand on all existing protocols. But I just that we have enjoyed. So 85, that's 40 years. Always been together. Ade Farako, Adeshino, Dele Amoju, we have always enjoyed that kind of spirit. Now the topic chosen is a bit philosophical, and that's to show you that to adopt a philosophical approach to it. I titled the topic, The Journalist and His Vanishing Dream, the End of an Intervention. So the natural question to ask is, and that's the way I normally tell my students, your unit of analysis must be first of all be defined. So I want to start by defining according to Meta. So who is a journalist? A journalist gives an information to the public through various channels, such as newspapers, radio, online publications. So overall, journalists serve as watchdogs of democracy, providing critical information to the public and helping to shape informed opinions and decisions. In his own definition, Wikipedia says a journalist is a person who gathers information in the form of text, audio, or pictures, processes into a newsworthy form, and disseminates it to the says what is a journalist. It says a journalist investigates, gathers, and reports news and information to the public through various media outlets, including newspapers, magazines, television, radio, and online platforms and developments, serving as watchdogs of government and institutions and facilitating democratic discourse. So, as follows. 1. The journalist is a professional gatherer of information, news. More appropriately, what the Yoruba we call alarika. So you keep, I'm so sure most of us here, if we are not from rich family, you will start as a reporter and then you keep working looking for news. So that's what they call alarika when you keep from one place to the other. A journalist is a repeater of information news. Information/news. When you look at CNN, you will see that they're talking about a particular topic from morning till late in the night. So, the third deduction is that a journalist is a watchdog, better still, a security dog or a vigilante. Why? Because you are watching those who are ruling and those who are being ruled in the society. Both Meta and Career Explorer agree that a journalist influences decision making or helps in public opinions and decisions. I would want to establish the dream of the journalist. Obviously, the journalist's first dream is to become a thoroughbred professional. That's your first dream. You want to be a professional journalist. Professional that can help in molding opinions and influencing government decisions or policies. In public opinions and possibly policies of government by writing. Most of us here, we have written columns. So one way or the other, we shape and influence policies. We write our columns. He also, to avoid being an alarika or gatherer, walking around the streets, he dreams of becoming famous and reputable so that he does not have to walk the streets before he gets his information or news. So one way or the other, where you keep going around the streets, around everywhere to gather your information, you start developing the mentality that you must make money and that you have to buy a car in information. And in any case, they give you more respect once they see that your reputation as a journalist. The status came into existence in 1980. So we started having being prosperous on the job. The first was trying to be a professional, and then next you want to be an influential person in this society, and now you are thinking of prosperity. Number 4, gradually he dreams of becoming a successful and wealthy journalist who does not talk too much. He does not want to be an arrow. He wants to talk less. He wants to be a big man and big men in decision making or policy making. Why must he continue to be a security dog or vigilante? So he takes appointment from government or companies as Minister of Information or Corporate Affairs Manager of NNPC and Co. Ultimately, only fond of criticizing, and they don't know how to implement or make policies. So I'm special advisor to Buhari for 8 years. I was special assistant to Tinubu for 8 years. We started taking appointments so that we can tell them that we are also good at implementing syndicate, consolidate and condense all of them into just one journalist dream. Because every dream here is all about changing status, wealthy or successful, that has added glamour to the dream. As far as I'm concerned, There is no crime in a profession. So what is his strategy to be, what strategy does he employ to become this that he has? He has outlined for himself, or to achieve this dream in particular. The first strategy is to acquire the requisite qualifications. Graduates were derived, about 6 of them. In 1979, we all worked with Femi Robinson, whom they used to call Ifearaba, the village headmaster. I was the reporter there. So those of them who had, so I really writing for journalists. So the journalism and the establishments where they worked. Unfortunately, as much as I admired them, I was almost tempted to apply for admission in the school, that is here, in 1979. But somehow, my HSC admission came first, and I had my eyes fixed on bachelor's degree and postgraduate as well. So everything changed. It's no more a situation where your degree, either in English, mass communication, and so many other degrees that are relevant. Now, there was also the coming of Newswatch, Delegiwa and Co. also gave us the idea that our dress code must change. Those days we used to wear rubber slippers. They were wearing suits all over and shoes. Those days we never felt that shoes were comfortable for journalists to be, for them to be wearing shoes around conference centers or conference places, here and there. And then again in the newsroom, things changed. So many elegant things, but in those days, in places like Daily Times and some of these old establishments, Nigeria and Co., you see journalists eating cola nut and bitter cola, all sorts of things. But they changed that kind of orientation. Oregon office there, where you could eat, you sit down, and then you eat comfortably, instead of just going across to buy gogoro and nepa as we were doing Daily Times. Then, sometimes you can be knocked down because you wanted to buy granuts across the road. So they established canteen inside their Oregon office, and it was fine. It was beautiful. So reporters love working there. A lot of them. We know people like Kebi and Chinaka Fine Country. Those were people we loved. Some of us came into journalism because of these people. Fantastic writers, particularly Masha Kebi. He was a columnist with Daily Times. He wrote well. He did everything. We never looked at that. We never looked at some other things. We were only looking at what he was writing and the visibility he was enjoying. He was a thorough columnist, a very good columnist. The logic, the coherence and everything was always there. But it was when I got to Daily Times, I saw to be, and the way Daily was. So most of us started changing our orientation. Not necessarily doing anything, but just to ensure that at least we elevated ourselves a little bit above such models. Those were our role models then in terms of professionalism. But at the end of the day, we started a new dream in 1985. We started having a new dream in 1985. So this new dream conflicted with their own kind of vision, and we chose to go with Delegiwa and Co. Why? Because we saw that was befitting of contemporary existence. We didn't want to live in ancient days any longer. So these were fine journalists who had all the features of good. Masha Kebi and Chinaka Fine Country. They were fine journalists who had good features, but they lacked the finesse of modern day journalists. And the third thing you have to do is to raise your social status. Stop staying in cheap hotels where you can only find women of virtue instead of meeting newsmakers and news people or people in the news. What I mean by that is that in those days we used to travel Keke riots all the time. and all that. And then, you know, instead of you to look for 4-star or 5-star hotel, you'll be looking at Lagere canteen, Lagere this, Lagere that, you know, all these small and cheap hotels. In fact, when I became correspondent, Northern Barracks correspondent, and then I was put on Babangida's trip to Bauchi. So it was to be sponsored by the government, I mean the Babangida administration. However, I still told my Oga that I will be going to Bauchi and everything. So he said I should go and try submission for the money I was going to use. So I started putting hotel. And then when I got to that portion of hotel, I said one night, 30 naira, and then times 7 days and everything. At the end of the day, everything was about 2,000 naira. And then when my chairman saw it, Chris Okoli, he said, Dr. Thomas, do you want to go and be sleeping with Achewu when you are supposed to be collecting, when you are supposed to go and stay in 5-star hotel? Why? What do you want to get from Ashawu? He called them Ashawu, not Ashewu. So he called them Ashawu. He said, what do you want to get from that? At that time, maybe there was just about 200 naira per night or so. But the difference was much for somebody like me. Coming from that kind of experience, where per night, it was going up. He said, I should go and change all those things. And now your status, has to change as a result of this new experiment or this new experience by Delegiwa. Now, again, as if you are dreaming big in journalism, then you must think of leaving brown envelope cartel. Don't get addicted to it, to the point that when you become line editor or news editor, and you will still want to be attending press conferences where they will give you brown envelope. That kind of dream, the kind of big dream you have, can never be achieved when you keep lowering your status, you keep demeaning your status. So you must raise your bar, social bar, you must raise it and stop going into all this kind of syndication, brown envelope syndication. Again, to achieve this dream, you create other sources of income for yourself, even within the journalism circle. Within the journalism circle. I know it's a bit difficult because journalists will work from morning till late in the night. However, because of this new dream, we discover, because journalists are so patriotic to the profession, you won't even know the time is going. You will have spent 15 years, 20 years serving your establishment. When you want them to give you IOU to pay school fees, that is when you know that you have been shortchanged or you are not important to them, because they will tell you there is no IOU. But when you see how much the management are taking away just to travel for 2 days, you'll be shocked. So you need to, you will not have this kind of problem at the end of the day. What are you going to do? So you should carve a niche for yourself, turn yourself to a brand in this profession. You need to turn yourself to a brand, make the name, and do not compromise your value or standard. Maintain your integrity and dignity. So, for Dele Amoju Igbe, we are celebrating him today because he has kept and sustained the integrity that made the brand. The integrity has made him what he is today. And on that, you planned it from the beginning. This today must have been planned yesterday. Is retiring now, so that one is not caught off guard. We plan our retirement from the moment we came in. This dream we are pursuing, that is, you want to be a thoroughbred professional, will definitely come to an end one day. And the moment it comes to an end, maybe after 20 years, 30 years, that is where you want to start reflecting on having spent your years working for certain establishments like Daily Times and Co. keep talking about the all the journalists were not even considered in terms of remunerations, in terms of compensation. All of them were thrown out. I was one of the first casualties in 1993. You know, I sacrificed my matrimonial responsibilities, my children and everything. In 3 years or so that I spent there, I can count writing cover story. To write cover story for magazine, for new Times Week magazine was not easy. So I could tell you successfully that I wrote more than 35, 40 cover stories. How much was the salary then? 1,500 naira. Then they collected about 200,000 left. I'm not too sure, but I left on 1,500 naira per month. So this retirement ought to have a so that it does not have to regret. Now, the question, as Dele's dream in journalism come to an end with retirement, so let us discuss the journalist's vanishing dream. 1. The journalist's vanishing dream, it is vanishing dream, not vanished dream. When you hear Christians when they say when there is life, as a professional has not vanished, but only receding, because there is a structural and systemic attachment would the establishment. I believe that is the only one who can. Will a temporary or permanent disconnect between that, simply because it's disconnecting from NIJ as this dream that will be answered if you can correctly assert that a journalist can never retire for as long as he can still write. If Dele stops, journalist is so for as long as you have your hand, not just about you. The fact that you are aging with the system or the society does not mean that society is aging, because number one, your children are also going to be part of the society and they will still come back or to connect with the society. So if you are leaving the society, getting tired or expressing tiredness about the fact you have been made, sometimes when I read a column or when I read an article, I will be telling myself, this person is talking about, I wrote it maybe 20 years ago or 25 years ago. There is virtually nothing again to discuss in the society, in the system, that one has not written about. Sometimes you take your biro, you want to write something, but no idea again, because by the time you are writing first 2 paragraphs, you will know that you have written something like this before. Have they implemented such suggestions or solutions? Well, certainly not. That is why you still want to write about it. So whether as a journalism teacher or as a practitioner or print, I don't need to ask anyone if Dele is thoroughbred professional. I may both to say that he is one. The name Dele Omoju Igbe rings the dream of being a thoroughbred professional or journalism teacher. Therefore, his dream in this regard has been his intervention in the classroom. So, his pedigree in the profession has enhanced his market viability and entrepreneurial competency. So, even if he does not have that kind of system here, he may enjoy it somewhere else, because people are building new, not complaining personally. If he does not have any health challenge or anything, I will still advise him to continue the intervention as a classroom teacher or in whatever capacity he wants to. Now, was Dele an influential and famous professional? That goes without saying. He was not just a teacher of journalism, he played a very critical role in shaping academic direction of journalism with his valuable input in curriculum design and pedagogical methodology. He has come to an end. Has it come to an end? Sorry. Has this come to an end? That is his contribution as academic. No. A society which appreciates epistemological, as long as our society places high premium on knowledge economy, someone like Omoju Igbe will always be in high demand for his professional expertise. This dream of being famous and influential may appear as if it is vanishing, but Dele's academic sagacity will always overall and lubricate it for cyclical relevance. This point is very hard and very funny. Is Dele a successful and wealthy journalist? I know about being a successful journalist, but is he a wealthy journalist? Please ask him yourself. I have no idea. As a friend, if I should confirm or affirm that he's a wealthy journalist, I'm sure that by the time he leaves here, he will receive hundreds of financial requests or financial assistance. So I will keep quiet on that. In conclusion, when a man is faced with the uncertainty of tomorrow, it seems to him as if his life or the world is coming to an end. He reflects his past, thinking of his childhood or boyhood. He has only accomplished just one of these, either fame or prosperity. He looks at his age, hoping he could still physicality and aging bone structure, which honestly, he can still do something, but definitely not everything as he has done in the past. That something is what represents the vanishing dream. Can
we put our hands together for our guest lecturer, Dr. Dapo Thomas? Thank you very much, sir. The lecture is news, and I use news as an acronym because it touches the north. The north is the symbol of authority. It talks to those in management. They are the north. It touches the east. They are the burgeoning students. You know, the sun rises from the east. Those that are aspiring to become journalists in the future. It touches those of us that are on the south, on our way to the west, which Dr. Mojigbe has gotten to. And so, once again, put your hands together for our guest lecturer. That's an insightful, I can assure you that we will have the copy of this lecture on our website, and also the rapporteur, the notes that our rapporteur took, post it on each class platform. Please put your hands together once again for our guest lecturer. Thank you very, very much, sir. Without wasting much of our time, there are two presentations to be made by the students. One by the HND student and the other. Okay, please put your hands together as I invite Vera Amaya.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to our amiable lecturers, our esteemed guests, and members of the High Table, and the students of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm here to give a very brief speech. Okay. So, we're gathered here today to bid a farewell to a trailblazer and a treasure trove of knowledge. Sir, your return educate generations to come. With over 20 years of lecturing at the prestigious institution, you have left an indelible mark on the minds of countless students. Your wealth of knowledge, acquired from Nigerian University, where you earned your BA, MA, and PhD degree, is a testament of your dedication to academic excellence. Your experience as a writer and editor in newspaper and magazine organization has enriched your teaching, making you a beloved mentor and a model. Through your lectures and numerous publications, you have poured your Nigerian media landscape is immeasurable. You have inspired, motivated, and challenged your students to strive for excellence. And many have gone on to become distinguished professionals in their own right. As you retire, we celebrate not only your achievement, but also the man behind the accolades. Your humility, kindness, and generosity of spirit have earned you the respect and admiration of your colleagues and also that of your students. You are an embodiment of value that the institution holds there: excellence, integrity, and service. So as you begin, thank you very much. So as you begin this new chapter, we say thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your tireless dedication. Thank you for your passion. Thank you. Thank you for being a shining example of what it means to live a life of purpose and service. We will miss you dearly, dear Dr. Dele Omojuigbe. But we know that your legacy will continue to inspire and motivate us. We congratulate you, sir, and we say thank you very much. There's a saying, sorry, please permit me. There's a saying that you should give the flowers to people when they are here. So I would like all the students to please stand up and give him 3 gosa and celebrate him. 1, 2, 3, go. Go, sir. Go, sir. Go, sir.
Okay, can we put our hands together for Vera Amaya? That was a wonderful one. We take the second one from Olamide Daniels. Olamide Daniels, thank you.
Money on my mind. Care what they yarning about me in particular. Come. Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know what I'm chasing for me.
Good afternoon, everybody. All perform for a program of ages past, but it wasn't. It came with a bang of heavy metal drums and percussion of rock music bands of yore. From Mount NIJ came the news that Dr. Dele Omojuigbe is retiring. How could he have retired when we have known him for 4 odd months? But retire he must, because he has paid his dues and earned his stripes. His epaulets, therefore, must be worn with pride. We will surely miss the man from the Sunshine State, who teaches Queen's language of malapropism, a crusade writing, and a mind-your-language guru cum specialist, an expert in parts of speech and tenses, a connoisseur not just of words but of the English language, and an expositor of excellence in the area of media ideology. Whenever a heavyweight like this decides to take a bow, the deities of journalism cannot but gather at the Mount of Olympus. Like mythical man who has paid his dues, made his mark, and should wear his badge with honor, with shoulders held high. On this auspicious occasion, we join NIJ Ogba and the Nigerian media family to honor Dr. Dele Omojuigbe and wish him Godspeed in his subsequent endeavors. Sir, according to your name, Dele Omojuigbe, you are truly diligent and disciplined, effective and efficient, learned and loving, energetic and enthusiastic, outstanding and objective, modest and measured, open-minded and objective, just and judicious, understanding and upstanding, young at heart and youthful in outlook, intelligent and insightful, gifted and genuine, bold and brilliant, enlightened and exceptional. Okay. Keep soaring, sir. And this is on behalf of the 2024-2025 PGD part-time class. Thank you.
Wow, that's wonderful. Can we put our hands together once again? You know, when the guest lecturer was talking, whether we should ask if Dr. Omojuigbe is a wealthy journalist. Well, we have the guest lecturer has delivered his lecture. I will hand over the microphone to the chairman to direct the table if there are comments, responses to the lecture of the chairman, and then we'll take it up from there. Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We should be looking at closing in about another half an hour at the most. So whatever intervention we have, let's make lecturer. He has talked about our friend and colleague, Dr. Moju Igwe. He has talked about the profession. Do you have any intervention? Do you have any question? So, you have the opportunity in just 2 minutes. Ola Woshimo.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dapotomos. It's always very interesting listening to you or reading your column. So it's on this basis I'd like to ask you this question. And my questions are in two phases. One is on the challenges in advocacy. And the second one will be the future of journalism. So in the context of your talk, Doctor, what would you believe are the most significant challenges journalists face today when attempting to intervene in societal issues? How can they navigate the tension between reporting the truth and advocating for justice or change? Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
The second one is on the future of journalism. Given the themes of your lecture, where do you envision the future of journalism heading? What strategies or approaches do you think aspiring journalists should adopt to ensure they remain relevant and impactful in a rapidly changing media landscape? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oshipo. Dr. Thomas, please note the questions. Let's take a couple so that you can answer them together. Is there any other intervention from this side of the hall? And then from here? Okay.
The provost and all the officials there, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this thing looks very confusing to me, because moderating any particular political system is the dynamics and the character of values that are embedded in such a system. If A cannot survive, it's most unlikely that B can survive. I think this question, this issue to me, as I was ruminating here, I got myself confused. Is it a question of journalism alone? No, the parable of the sower, all the seeds are the same, but the difference is the soil. So when you see nations all over are succeeding, and your nation is not succeeding, that's one thing about the soil of the nation. That we should, whether it is medicine, is medicine surviving? Is engineering surviving here? Look everywhere. I want one thing that came to me here is that, look, I've read about nations. There is no nation that is not subsidized. There are nations that you don't have to work and save to buy a car. In this country, if you are working in this system, NIJ, it means you have to save to buy a car. I serve in Obasanjo's government, I serve in Jonathan's government. I am here to say that this is a prosperous nation. It is not a question of, there is no, look, in the year 2000, we went to Switzerland and Norway. Some journalists went with us. I was in charge. So at the break, we had a break. One day we had a break. They said they want to buy certain things. So I told the guide that, okay, please take us to where our journalists can buy. You know, our boys are smart guys. When we got there, I said, they now called me and said, Mr. I had to take us to where poor people buy things. And I didn't process that thing. I just went sheepishly to the woman. I said, please take us to where poor people buy things. They said, this is where everybody buys things. There are no poor people here. The following day, he took us to our house. Green, everywhere green. A single mother, just a middle. That was in Norway. That year, the Prime Minister of Norway, his father was still working in the civil service. The guy graduated in 1983. The same year that I graduated. Something is wrong with our system. A system where few people swim in an ocean of begotten wealth and criminal arrogance at the expense of the mass. It is not a question of journalism. Journalism cannot survive. Education is not surviving. Which one is surviving? So I think we have to look at it. I quite appreciate the perspective of Mr. because he reset himself to his angle. But I try to see how will I intervene. So that's just the rough idea that I have. Thank you. I must say, because I'm not coming back again to it, I must thank the provost and the registrar for facilitating this idea and making it big. And also the management. We thank you. I'm thanking you on behalf of the Council of Friends of Professor Dele. He's a professor of practice, so if you don't know. So I'm thanking you on behalf of the friends here, that I would really appreciate you, and on behalf of the family members that I have, because I'm not coming back again to say, give me the microphone. I stole that time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Sanyawusan. Dr. Boyola, please. Oh, Provost, just.
Well, a very interesting topic from Dr. Thomas. I'm going to talk a bit in parable. I know that Dr. Thomas really understands what I'm going to say. And interestingly, his lecture, we are going to get it and put it on our platform for our students to have a thorough historical background, because most of the things he talked about, except you are well conversant with journalism of the 80s, 90s, it might look like he's speaking Greek. But I'm going to tickle his fancy a bit, because we are talking about journalism and the vanishing dream. And we are now in an age where, even to some students, education is scam. And if they are not looking at it as being scam, we're in the era of misinformation and disorientation, where students even, I don't want to say they don't have hope, but it's like they get bitter with what is going on. But I know there was a time when a journalist was a driver. And as a driver, he was driving from Ikeja to CMS. He was living maybe in just an ordinary room. Things were not that rosy. And of course, be tough. And it's when things get tough, that is when you find people who have not been called chickening out. And many of these students who are facing the digital age will also encounter these moments that they will feel like, look, to hell with journalism. But if what you want to do is journalism and you are having minor challenges and you want to chicken out, wherever else you go, you will still see tough time. What is the take of Dr. Thomas on this, when journalists, the young ones with dreams, are not just thinking of a dream vanishing, but a dream getting to be unrealized? Thank you.
No, sorry, I think I need to speak to this. Because we are talking to young people here, and we are talking about people with aspiration, whether they want to be journalists or not. Femi is here. All of us here will practice journalism same time. Lekon is here. He's a media career development expert. I need to say, and this for the benefit of the professor, because our professor is ordained from heaven, that what is happening now is not new. This has always been the story. Because in the same Daily Times we spoke about, Bolabo Ogunsanwo and Co., he was the first person to write Toyota Crown in this town. He was editor of Sunday Times. The Daily Times of that era, Babatunde Joseph, they were paid their salaries every 15 days
twice a month they were paid salaries. On Fridays, the home of the editors were stuffed with provision and drinks for the weekend. In fact, under Babatunde Joseph, his regional editors, by design, earned higher salary than the regional minister. That's the truth. You mentioned Chris Okole. Luckily enough, I also work with Chris Okole at New Breed. In fact, that was where I started from, yeah. But it's okay, I'm talking of Chris Okole, who owned New Breed. If you work with New Breed then, everybody will tell you Chris was a crazy man. But you knew from day one as you entered this organization to work, it will tell you, there is no free salary here. You are expected to write 3 stories a month for a magazine, and then all you need to do is to do a self-audit, tell us the stories you have written or they are in the works, collect your pay. There were people who worked there for 6, 7, 9 months, and I'm talking of 1984, 85, who are not paid salaries. But there were people who were paid salaries punctually every month because we met the demand. And I'll give you a personal example. I work with them. The average salary of the graduate when I started work was about 350 naira a month. The prosperous ones were paid about 400. Chris Okole started me on 630 naira. Because he said, say you are coming from Suka. Don't go to Guardian, no. You know I'm a director there. In fact, I'm going to call Alex now and Stanley. They must not employ you. You work here with me. And it was fun. So what am I saying? That these young persons need to be encouraged from the onset about what will be their end game as they choose this career. Where do you want to go? Whatever you do, some people are not going to break the glass ceilings. But some people are going to prosper. But you must define from the onset where you want to go, how you want to get there. If what you want to do is to go and be collecting brand envelopes, it is not a cost. You are not going to manage the environment and get those angles to which you can be creative and make more money. The sky is a starting point. There are many. Femi is there. Before he went to work for Buhari, he already owned his home and he was driving a 4-wheel car. That's the truth. We were comparing notes. In our time as editors, I'm not sure there was any editor who owned his own house. And I tell you, this is worth emphasizing. These editors did not build their houses from corruption. That's the mistake a lot of people make. Again, I'm going to just give one personal example and I leave. The former governor of Enugu State, Chimaroke Namani, we were classmates at Nsukka. We were all the same set. We left Nsukka the same year. What some of us used to say was, we can also become excellent in the career we have chosen. So while they were prospering in their respective fields and departments, for instance, I was in my own office. An example I said I was going to give. Chimaroke said as governor, he told his officers, he said, you know, we cannot insult Benga by offering him money. He said, but I'll deliver weekly lectures. Everybody knew Chimaroke was giving lectures all over the place. Every Friday, he sent me 6 pages of lecture to be run as advertisement in Vanguard newspaper with clear instruction that I'll be paid 30% of the cost of the advertisement as my commission. It was legitimate. It was in the open. From there, I could build a house that I can show off to any of you. I have cars that I've parked in my garages forever. So, what am I speaking to? You must know what you want to do and why you are doing it. And for people like you, you are privileged to have a Lekon to for doing here, who have been a reporter, who have been an editor, who is now doing career management. He speaks to people, he mentors people, he helps you to focus. If you recall, at the matriculation we did here, I was telling the students, don't be intimidated by innovations in your society. Learn and use AI. You can make money. You can be prosperous. You can be successful if you know where you are going to do. Rule number 1, you must be ethical. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Provost. Let's make that a last intervention. Dr. Thomas. Dr. Thomas will respond. And after that, we'll be winding down.
Well, the Oluwashimo would like to know the challenges. 1990. No? As far back as 9, I have envisaged, or 79. Let me start from 79. I worked with Femi Robinson, like I said, with, products of this institution. For the months or 4 months, I did not. 79. I didn't collect on charity. They would just buy food for us and say, manage and everything. That when this thing is successful, all of you will reap. Even reap any fruit. Not even one fruit. That went. I finished my HSC, 81. And I said, okay, let me go and work and get some money to send my check. I was not friendly with my father at that time, and my mother was poor. So I said, let me raise my money myself. So I worked with Weekend Flight, established by Alan Kor, Alan Aroyewu, who happens to be my uncle, my mother's younger brother. The sense of working was to gather money so that I can use it. I did not even collect anything. 2 months only out of 12 months. Now, came back to New Breed. New Breed started me with 1,800. That was the highest paying magazine then, 1989. And I was in Durham Barracks, so I was enjoying Durham Barracks. I was enjoying in the office. And that's why I said, is to go and stay in a very expensive hotel. The money was still there. By 1991, during the Oka, bullets, and I information, trying, despite the fact that I risked my life and everything, this man did not appreciate it. At that time, the money was going down. He too was getting broke. The company was not buoyant again. So, because at the time I was risking my life, covering Oka's being owed salary of 6 months. It was Festus Iriye and Toyin Egunjobi that now took, they were in charge. And I told them I was leaving. They said, Lacuna, wait and collect your 6 months salary. I said, it's not possible. I have been waiting to collect 2 months salary. He has not paid. I waited to collect 3 months, 1,800. I left. So I now had to go and work in civil service. I was collecting 580 naira, but it was regular. It was regular. I went to Daily Times, 1,500, fantastic. Like Benga said, they were paying 19. That was during the time of Yemi Ogubi. So they were paying salary, 19 to 21. For the first time in my life, I knew what they called leave, annual leave. They were asking me to go on leave. I said, Komamilara, I've never gone on leave before. I've never gone on leave. They said, no, it's compulsory. When I was supposed to be on leave, I was still going to work because I was not used to it. It was when I left Daily Times in 1993 that I knew that if God has not pushed me out, I may die in poverty. Because I have anything to do, between 1996 and 1997, I became a Danfo driver. I was driving Danfo in the streets of Lagos. I was the best student in history in Ife. I was the second best in my masters. Yet I was driving Danfo. Ordinary passengers would be slapping me from the back. Oh, what people stop me, and everything. All sorts of insults. But I endured. I persevered. But I did not make my money in journalism. Why? Because you see, in journalism, you have to be focused. I like the advice of going, when you are there, journalism is something like an addiction. If you are there truly, truthfully, you want to make a name, you want to make a mark, you want to be a brand, you will work, you will forget your personal life. That's journalism for you. You are so patriotic to your job. It was not only me. Shegun Fatuashe, Lekon knows him. Shegun Fatuashe was my best man. He was selling rice. He opened a shop at Ogba. That was a line editor. I mean, Shegun was a news editor at that time. He left. He worked in so many places, he left. And then he started selling rice. All sorts of things. So it was when that happened that we now have to start telling ourselves the truth. Because all of us forgot to look for other sources of income. We were dedicated and committed to Daily Times. And those people who are committed and dedicated to, they never appreciated anything like that. And meanwhile, they were building houses, they were buying cars, their children were going abroad. I was going around the schools of my children to beg the principal, you know? So, if you are in journalism and then you don't shine your eyes, because number one, in journalism, there is no resumption time and closing time. Once you resume in the morning, you stay in the night. But when I went to some other places, I discovered that, if you work from this place, this time to that time, then you can use your other time for for other sources to make other money. To make money in other places. But in journalism, they will use you 24/7 and then you will not be compensated and rewarded at the end of the day. So, you must be focused. While you are trying to make the fame, you must also try and build a career for yourself in terms of prosperity. Prosperity, well, we have been advised. By the special grace of God, there is none of us here. This is a very powerful generation. There is none of us here that has lost our integrity. We have been together for 40 years. And then nobody has been indicted or I have never seen sell before in my life. I've never. Even on the job, I've never seen sell. I've never been arrested for anything. So we don't have to be corrupt. You don't have to be corrupt. You don't have to be corrupt. And then don't get carried away by a brown envelope. How much is in the brown envelope? They will be giving you 750 naira. Say 1,000 or 2,000. Is that what you have come to live on in life? No. You must dream big. And when you dream big, then you work well. We are hardworking, very hardworking. There is nobody here, maybe apart from Dele, who worked in Daily Times and then NIJ. Some of us here, we have worked in about 10 newspapers. Why? Because that leads me to something. What is it? Something poor salary now. Poor salary. And even that salary, you will not even collect on time. You collect on time. They may not pay you 3 months, they may not pay you 4 months. The money that is not even sufficient, they are still holding back. They are still holding it, they are not even releasing it to you on time. So that's wickedness. Once the month is ending like this, you will see Okoli, he will not even come to office. And then he will be looking for trouble. Once the month is ending, so that he can deduct money from your salary. You'll be looking for trouble. You are owing somebody salary of 6 months, and yet you are still deducting salary. Does it make sense? So what's the future? It's bright and promising, I believe. It's bright and promising. But it depends on your initiative. It depends on what you want as a person. It depends on what you want as a person. It depends on where you are going. It depends on where you are going. So if you know your way in terms of planning your life, you want to sell things, you want to work somewhere. When I was in Jordan Barracks, when I was in Alausa, I discovered that most of them will not come until maybe 12 or 11 a.m. I said, and then, they will expect you to resume 8, but people will not come until 11. I said, I can't be wasting my life like this. I talked to somebody in Nigeria Home News, London. I said, can I be doing freelance for you and everything? They said, yes. So I will now go. 8 a.m. I will report at Jordan Barracks because things normally happen early in the morning. I will go to Jordan Barracks. Then 11 or 12, I will report. As usual with the others. I will come to work and I will sit down and I will work. But, my conscience. So I will work till 8 p.m. I will make sure I work till 8 p.m. And that was why, when I left, 7 months only, when I left Alausa, the ministry, to my send-off, they did send off for somebody to spend these 7 months because I worked so hard. They did send off for me. That time, what they normally gave to those who have served 30 years and everything was wall clock. They gave me wall clock for 7 months. And they will now put your news inside the Horizon. They put my name inside the Horizon. They put my news there. I call it half career. 7 months, half career. Because why are they doing send off for me? Because I will make sure that if I come 11 a.m. or 12, I should work hard by late in the night. So I was in this place. I was staying in Purple. So I will just finish 8 p.m. and then I'll go home. I don't want to waste much time, but please, the young ones, nobody will scare you away from journalism. It's your thing you dream of. It's your dream. It's your profession. But don't lose sight. Don't get too committed to the point that you will neglect your own personal life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Quickly, I recognize our own Lekon Otufodunrin. Thank you very much. Our own Femi Akintunde Johnson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You are highly recognized. So we go to presentation of gifts. That's what we want to do. And now I think we should start with that we have for the guest lecturer. Okay, we'll start with the presentation of certificate of service for Dr. Dele Omoji-Igbe. Then we take other presentation of gifts. After that, Dr. Dele Omoji-Igbe will respond. And then after his response, we take vote of thanks. And then while the provost, you can go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. May Dr. Omoji-Igbe be kind enough to be upstanding. I won't have the privilege of asking to be upstanding tomorrow.
Can we please all rise? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No,
Thank you very much. Please forgive me. Thank you very much.
Well, on behalf of the Governing Council, the Academic Board, and the management, your colleagues, it's my pleasure to present to you a certificate of service for serving the institution meritoriously from June 16, 2004 to March 8, 2025. Congratulations, sir.
lọ́wọ́ bàbá.
Maybe what?
Èmi ṣe
Nípa who?
nípa ìgbàgbọ́ nínú Jésù.
Say what? Say what?
Okay, DJ, hold it. Okay,
Thank you.
presentation of the plaque.
That's not all. You know the certificate, unless he frames it and he hangs it on the wall, you won't see it if you visit him in the house. So we also have for him a plaque. This we believe will decorate the table. Anybody who passes by the house will know that Dr. Dele Omojuigbe retired meritoriously from NIJ. So on behalf of the Governing Council, the Academic Board, the management, the faculty, and the students, it's my pleasure, Dr. Omojuigbe, to present you this plaque today.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Dr. Thomas said journalism retire. Please join us also. The services, we are happy you are here. Retirement to new life. Congratulations.
Can we put our hands together? Can we put? He's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. For can we please rise?
Jolly good fellow.
And so say all of us, hooray! And so say all of us, hooray! And so say all of us, hooray! For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
And so say all of us. Hip hip hip, hooray! Hip hip hip, hooray! Hip hip hip, hooray! Now, Dr. Omojuigbe will respond. But before he does that, you know, he has a friend there, and brother and colleague. In a very positive sense, every institution has its own establishment. I'm not talking of the former establishment, too. The principalities. This is one principality that is retiring. Another principality that's been here all the time, Dr. Adeboyola, he has a personal presentation to make to Dr. Omojuigbe from one principality to the other. Thank you.
Well, I don't know principality. The kind of respect and love I have for Dr. Omojuigbe. Interestingly, we went to together. He's actually my junior, but he's my senior in age. But beyond that is the kind of rapport that we had to here. First, you must know that Dr. Omojuigbe is a man of integrity. If somebody feels about it, I find those kind of behavior interesting and what's more, when he left the HOD General Studies, that position fell on my lap. And when again he left as the Deputy Provost, I was put forward to succeed him. So over the years, it's like our journey has increased for positive reasons. And I say thank you for the brotherly love we've had, the good rapport we've shared, and the good moments that I will cherish for the rest of my life. And on behalf of my family, I'm presenting this thing to him, which I want another good friend of mine, Olawo Shemo, to please come and present this thing on my behalf of my family. The man coming is also an ex-Ife, but he's a friend, but he's a brother. Wow.
Oh yeah, bye. Thank you.
On behalf of to you as a panel, God bless you.
Thank you. While other members of the high table can have their we craving Dr. Mojigo standing here so that we will take his response and then other presentation of gifts will go on. Thank you.
Honestly, I'm beyond words. Well, no matter the time, I will still crave your indulgence to sing 2 songs. And you are going to sing along with me. The first word is English. The second one is Yoruba. In my secondary school, to know the songs here now. I sing. Praise to the Lord, the Almighty,
The King
of creation.
Oh, my soul,
Sing for
holy, my salvation. Oh,
Coming.
hallelujah.
Zonia, sing me glad adoration. Thank you. That's the first one. The second one is Yoruba. I don't know whether many of us know it, but when I sing those that are from the CAC, we are likely going to know the song. Ìwọ tó fẹ́ wá láàmà sí títí, Olúwa olórí wa,
Ìwọ tó ṣọ́ wa ní ìdánwò ayé, mímọ́ lógo ọlá rẹ. Bàbá ìwọ la ó máa sìn. Bàbá ìwọ la ó máa bọ̀. Ìwọ tó
fẹ́ wà mímọ́ ni
go.
àti olókùn.
Thank you very much. I think I am beyond words. First and foremost, I think I will need to apologize to my brother, who I discouraged from coming here because I didn't know what was planned for me. But I didn't know the extent. I am amazed. I'm shocked by what I can say. I'm shocked. And I don't know how to express my thanksgiving. That's why I had to start from God, the author and finisher of our faith. I thank you. I thank God Almighty for everything. I thank the management. I thank my friends here. I thank the students. They are writing exams. It's a question of the mind. You can fast for 2 hours. You can fast for 3 hours. Fast is fast. I want to sincerely thank you. Let me begin. I thank you from the depth of my heart. And I give God thanks on your behalf. It is not only students that learn from lecturers. Lecturers also learn from students. And I give 2 quick examples. And a student came from a newspaper to do PGD here. That time I taught editing and graphics. This candidate wrote so impressively that in my course he scored 82%. Nothing to change. See, in terms of marking, I know how to mark. I was a WAEC marker, English marker for many years. In the early, each time I marked, I had my grade. Because some will write English and they'll start writing pidgin. So I had to run away. But in terms of assessment, I think I knew how to do that from there. That time we used to converge, on Obanikoro, Bataka. And then I had to write notes to my student. That's number 1. Number 2, another example. Because when we are a lecturer that doesn't learn from his students, it's either of 2 things. Number 1, is either that lecturer has shut his mind against knowledge. Or number 2, that the lecturer is not speaking the truth. Because the truth is that we exchange ideas. Not long ago, I think about 4 years ago, but there was this topic that I came across. I like challenges. I read the topic, I did all manner of things, but I didn't understand. Very, very difficult one. I've been trying to see how to manage. And then I began to teach. And one elderly man, also a student, sitting at the back. Now, sir, can I talk? I said, please go ahead. That's why we are here. And the man said, you are very correct to say what you say. It's a very difficult area in management. In charge of my office. As a matter of fact, I have attended all manner of lectures, home and abroad. So I am the coordinator for my unit in our company. I said, is that true? He said, yes. I just handed over the list to him. I sat down. I began to take notes, and he taught the class. I handed over everything to him. So which means that it's not only communication is not just one-sided. Teaching is not one-sided. That is why every time we teach, we have to do it interactively. You teach, it's not a monologue. You teach and then you listen to your students. So that's why I give it to you that if not for you, even all the books that the provost said I wrote, I couldn't have written. I didn't write any book before I get here.
I wrote all the books that I wrote at NIJ here from the experience I had from you. So thank you very much. Now,
Greatest of the greatest.
let me come here. My provost, sir, I cannot thank you enough. And please, everyone there, don't go because the book I wrote on NIJ, you are going to have a copy each there. If you check the book, I wrote some, I don't mince words. I don't flatter people. That's why I don't have many friends. All these ones you have, see here, it was one of the mafias at Ife, you know. That's for you, you know, he was the one bugging everyone on campus. It was Cobra, bugging lecturers, bugging students, bugging everyone. So that he could even not thank the provost enough. I can't thank you enough, my provost. Dr. Ola, well, we are one. If I have my way, I would have taken you down to that side, or to, you know, because it's a parapol. I thank you, sir. Registrar, God bless you, sirs and mans. I cannot appreciate you enough. I'm sorry to say this, but I have to mention, my late wife knew every one of you because I will always get home and tell her about my colleagues, how we were relating, how we were doing. He knew every one of you. And she had a good report about you all, on you all. I say thank you. Dr. Thomas, you know, this doctor is hard for me to say. It's just Dapo. It's easier for me to say Dapo. Dapo, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. We have seen for a long time ago, but the last time we had a conversation, told me that you are reading now 2 PhD theses. You know, your students that are about to get their PhD, you are reading their thesis. So which those small boys? Look at, see them. That's how they were in there. It was the one babbing our hair on campus. See them did there. Aquari boy. He's a prince from the source. And if you were here then, you are still here now, you need to explain to management what you are still doing there. Because he was the one that reviewed the book in the hall in 2016. If you were in the hall at that time as a student and you are still here, I think you, PGD, even PGD, I think you need to see Femi Macaulay, thank you. Now, Femi Adesina, I don't know what to say. You know, I think there was a time I called him, I said, Femi, in our days, I never knew you could be, because the PA to head of state, to our president, is the president of all PAs. You know, just the dog of a king is the king of dogs. Femi was like president, but one thing that I am amazed at is that people, now listen to me, you students have not squeezed. He was a reporter, he was editor, he was MD, he was president of the Guild of Editors. Please clap for him now. It's about Buhari. Don't ask him questions on Buhari. Ask him questions about journalism. About journalism. Go to him, ask him questions. But you are just Femi with me. All of you, God bless you. Thank you very much. Now, to my people. The first person ever that I will live with in my life is a woman here. At age 10, she took me. At age 10, I said in 2016, she was there when I was presenting my book. At age 10, she took me. So she was the first person ever that, she's my second sister. The first is gone. But when you see the face, you have seen the first. We look alike in my family. That's my immediate sister, Mrs. Makodiola. Thank you, ma. Thank you for all. Thank you enough, ma. God bless you, ma. Well, that's my boy there. Lekon Omojuigbe. When you see Omojuigbe, that's my smallest boy. Hello, Yomi. Thank you, my. When you see Yomi, you have seen the Father. God bless you all. Now let me come back to Dr. Sonia Wilson. Finally, I can't thank him enough. Honestly, I can't. He's a special friend. I've just called you doctor. You know you are Sonia with me. I can't thank him enough because I remember just a week to my retirement, he called me and said, Dele, what you said the other time, are you serious? I said, do I need to lie about my retirement? He said, are you serious that I'm retiring? He said, I said, no, it's too late. You can't do anything like that. Just next week now, you called me on Thursday. My retirement is on Friday, the following week. I mean, it can't happen. He said it must happen. He said something has to be done. I am surprised that it could happen. And then he liaised with the management and with this. And he told me, even while I was coming in, he told me, management, thank your management. And then thank Femi because we planned these things together. Femi, once again, I thank you. Sonia, I can't thank you enough. God bless you forever. And to all of you, God bless you. And finally, I have one last song that you sing along with me, also in Yoruba. Please, if you know the song, you just join me. And the song is like this. Eba ni Oluwa, hallelujah. One minute, please. I'm sorry, 1 minute, just 1 minute. I'm going to sing the song. I have not mentioned my brother here. I'm sorry, no, I will sing the song. But please permit me. Mr. Otufodun is here. I beg. Please forgive me first, sir. Please, sir. In 1991, I'm sorry. In 1991, yes, so we close. I was in the Daily Times. There was a man we had in our town. You know, our town is very big. So when somebody is a senator, you have to respect the person because you know the person. His name is Senator Farouk Komi. I interviewed him. I was in Daily Times. Otufodun was in Punch. I now told him that this is what I have. I don't know, but I think I should have a way to help you. I think I will try and he didn't. Everybody will call Jeun. That what kind of man is this? Integrity that this man has. Everything I do, he has always been there. I am not surprised that today he's a mentor. When you have found a mentor in him, you have found a worthy mentor. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. And to all my colleagues.
But we must close. We must close. Our intention was to have closed at 2:30. This is already 10 minutes past 3. I was to come and do a vote of thanks, but Dr. Moju Igbe has done the vote of thanks. So I don't need to do it again. I just need to.
Thank you very much. We'll take the closing. Wait. Okay, we'll take the closing. Guest lecturer. Well, they've been shouting Ife, but they forgot that the microphone is with Unilag. The only cosmopolitan university in Nigeria. Finally, there's an aspect. Thank you, the national anthem. The national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, made different, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
you please remain standing as we do the recession in reverse order? Thank you. Led by the provost.